The New England Patriots just dropped this unexpected rumor news. Let's talk about it. My name is Aaron. As you guys know, Patriots content on the daily. This channel right here. So do me a favor, hit that like button. Wherever that is, find that subscribe button, find the bell so you don't miss out. As well, comment below. I don't care. Just type something in down there. I'd appreciate it. So that being said, starting this episode, here's my big question. Moving into the offseason, what's one player you want to see Mike Vrabel, this organization, go after? Comment below. Let's start off with that. And that being said, the rumor that has been spreading when it comes to this organization is none other than A.J. Brown. Now, we know there is a connection between A.J. Brown and Mike Vrabel in their time at the Titans when Vrabel was the head coach, obviously, and then A.J. Brown, drafted out of Ole Miss, playing there, really got a great start there, was able to, ended up being traded, obviously now, and the Eagles, who are still in the playoffs at the moment. So obviously these trade talks wouldn't happen till, obviously, after the season, as the new season begins. And so when it comes down to it, I think this would be, one, unexpected, just because, in my opinion, A.J. Brown is in a position with the Eagles to do well. You look at that offense, and you could argue that is one of the top 5 offenses in the NFL. When that team is humming, when they're playing well, they are hard to stop, whether that's in the air. Now, obviously, getting Saquon Barkley this year, Jalen Hurts, he's had great seasons. And so when it comes down to it, the Philadelphia Eagles are a great team. But Mike Vrabel obviously saying, hey, if we need a wide receiver one, now we've talked that obviously Elliott Wolf wanted Calvin Ridley at one point. He wanted Brandon Ayuk. The big ticket name right now is T. Higgins coming from the Bengals. But if Mike Vrabel, if I can get who I want, I would assume it's going to be A.J. Brown. He's familiar. He knows his work ethic. And hey, if he can come here and be our number one and do what I think he can do, and we can coach him and lead him like he can be, then it can be a massive asset to this team. Now, statistically, we look at A.J. Brown. Now, this year we've known he's been hurt for a little bit. He's been out. He hasn't played every single game. But that still being said, he still had over 1,000 receiving yards, 7 receiving touchdowns. And again, he is still in the playoffs. So they still have this game coming up against the Rams. Apparently it's supposed to be snowing, so we'll see how much throwing there is in this game. But that being said, I don't mind it. I don't mind the idea, but the question is, what are the assets that are being given up? Because I would assume for a name like A.J. Brown, you're talking probably in there, if there's draft capital, going to be a first-round pick. At that point, again, do you just go to McMillan? You get a young guy, rookie contract. Again, there's a lot of cap space for the New England Patriots, but I don't know. Go get more assets that are going to really help this team out. Again, I don't mind the idea of A.J. Brown, but if you have to trade away future big draft picks, then what are other things you can do? Now, obviously, they're looking at every single possibility that could happen with this. But again, I truly believe, as this is said, Mike Vrabel expected to look into, hey, how can I get A.J. Brown? Because it's familiar. He knows what he's getting, and it's going to be a quality production from A.J. Brown, and especially helping out a young, talented quarterback like Drake May. So comment below. Tell me what you guys think. Do you like the idea of A.J. Brown, or do you want to pass on that idea? I think some people will like it. I think some people will say absolutely not worth the money, not worth bringing him, especially if he's going to be reading books on the sideline like he was the other day, which was wild to see. Apparently that book went off the charts. If you saw that on Amazon, just kind of crazy. But comment below. Tell me what you think. A.J. Brown, is it worth Mike Vrabel and the organization looking into trading for him? So comment below. Next up, Pro Football Focus came out with a list of each player for each team and their rank based on their position. And 2 players were ranked the worst at their position. Jalen Polk, 133rd out of 133 wide receivers. Ruff, as well as Dimitri Jacobs, which if you remember, Dimitri Jacobs was dropped from the Broncos, and they were hoping he would clear waivers and then he'd be able to be picked back up to their practice squad. He ends up being a starting tackle for the New England Patriots when in all reality he should be a practice squad player. Now, again, you got to give him the benefit of the doubt, trying his best, but it's rough. They both had very, very, very tough seasons. Now you look at some of these rankings, and a lot of them don't surprise me, especially when it comes to the offensive line. Now, Ben Brown, granted, he got in late. He did not start a lot. Layden Robinson, rookie, that doesn't surprise me. Mike Onwenu, middle of the pack. Again, he had to play some tackle, some guard, so kind of rough. But you look at these numbers, and there is a massive area for growth for almost every single one of these players. So looking at this, just take a look at the offense real quick and just comment below any one that really just pops out that really surprises you. Austin Hooper, 6th, and then you have Hunter Henry, 18th. Again, there's a lot of different kind of factors, things that factor in. But again, Austin Hooper, I think he should be someone who's re-signed as kind of that tight end 2. I like him, especially if you can get him for the cheap. Lord knows we have the money. And then you look defensively, the highest being Jabril Peppers. And then you have, Christian Gonzalez is up there. And so you look at it, and again, it's similar to the offense. There's some where it's like, wow, that looks rough. But again, it's in some of the categories you have to take it with a grain of salt. But I will say Jacobs and Polk do not surprise me. Last but not least for today, just jumping in, I know we've talked a lot about the offensive coordinator role, but defensive coordinator role, 4 strong just options possible. Defensive coordinator candidates for the Patriots. Terrell Williams I actually really like, being the D-line coach and then the run game coordinator for the Detroit Lions. I actually really enjoy that. That one would be a fun hire. It looks like Ben Johnson as well as Aaron Glenn, very 2 capable guys. Ben Johnson's apparently, it looks like it's rumored at this point that, I don't want to say the Raiders is a done deal, but it looks like that. And as well, Aaron Glenn, very big possibility that he ends up with the Saints. But I really like him. And then I'm going to Robert Saleh. I like Saleh, kind of interesting mid-season fire by the Jets. But, man, he's one of those coaches like Josh McDaniels that we have talked about, is they have made it to the mountaintop in the sense of coaching in football. They have coached a professional football team. Obviously, they didn't win a Super Bowl as a head coach. But at that profession, they made it to the peak. And so for them, they want to put themselves in the position as a defensive coordinator, offensive coordinator, do well to get another shot at that. And so I think that Robert Saleh would be a great hire, and especially too for him. He's looking at it like, hey, Mike Vrabel, he has his head on straight, all about accountability. This would be a great stepping stone for me in the future. And so I don't know. I think it'd be a great pick. Comment below. Tell me your thoughts, whether it's about AJ Green, defensive coordinator, worst players on the team, whatever the heck you want to talk about. Comment below. I appreciate you. Again, you guys know my name is Aaron. Hit that subscribe button on the way out. I'd truly appreciate it. We'll talk later. Peace.